My name is Rory Mitchell. What follows is from Age of Aquarius by AW Findlay. Excerpt 2. Freedom. Within minutes, and just as it turned 6:30 p.m., darkness strangled the town, and the clamour of the surrounding jungle ratcheted up a notch. Stark walked down one short street to the well-lit promenade, a busy thoroughfare overlooking the mighty Amazon, and the centre of Iquitos' eccentric nightlife. Fire-eaters and jugglers and men with tame dancing monkeys and apes aggressively touted for coin, which was still used regularly here. Stalls sold strange-looking fish, grubs, and insects, along with some more sinister-looking meat and creatures whose origin could only be guessed at. Stark stuck with the fish, in a spicy but flavoursome sauce and rice wrapped in leaves. He sat on a bench and watched the crowd stroll by. Iquitos could only be reached by boat or air, all of which was too expensive for the average local. So here they were, trapped in the jungle, making the most of their limited lot. Its remoteness had led the city to become a honeypot for misfits from all over the world. White faces pocked the crowd, usually old or middle-aged men, but some younger. The more respectable walking with local women half their age, others with girls or boys, and yet others would stumble by alone, dazed and half-clad, their souls lost to the jungle medicine a long time ago, perhaps talking to different aspects of themselves, or to the tame apes or other familiars they would drag with them through their wretched lives. As he took in the motley show walking by, Stark could see the logic of the cult having their base near here. No one watched the government holoscreens here, and they often lay broken and unpowered. Few people had a U-chip or needed one. Food and shelter was plentiful in the Amazon, and there were always ways to make a meager living in a town like this. It made him cringe to think how cheap it would be for a local to take him out. He sweated from the hot sauce and, wiping his face, wandered through the quieter but surprisingly well-lit back streets towards Iquitos' famous market. Stark walked round the corner and straight into a bubbling hub of activity, all organized under blazing white floodlights. Set up as a large round stockade like a circus ring, the edges were viewing galleries, and the merchandise paraded on a platform in a center. The important work here in Iquitos was done in the relative cool after dark, and an auction was in full swing. The slaves being sold now were young lily-skinned Slavic girls. One by one, they stepped confidently up onto the platform, smiling and blissfully unaware of their commodity status. "Have a look, dear friends, at this!" exclaimed the auctioneer. "All the way from the stable of Maddie's Pa, these ladies are the cream of deactivated virgins." Maddie's Pa. Stark had heard of him. One of the best-known zombie slavers. Up in the Baltics, he kidnapped or bought babies and young children, orphans and the unwanted. They were well-fed, well-looked after, and spent a childhood of total immersion, forced hypnosis in isolation, ensuring their willingness to serve and love of their eventual fate. This would finally culminate in their sale as enthusiastic sex slaves, and in some circles a lot worse. High-end stuff, he thought as he watched the smiling girls being bought and sold by hard-faced brokers and traffickers. They would wind up far away from this jungle town, in the clubs and homes of the rich and powerful, ending their short lives mercilessly cooking on the table of some fat, soulless government regulator.